Okay, so let's talk about Big Bud and specifically some common misconceptions about what they are, how much power they make, and who farms with them. By the way, if you want to take a little deeper dive into the history of that company, hit the link in the video description below. Here we go. So, number one, there's only one Big Bud, the 16V747. That's actually not true. Depending on how you slice and dice it, there were actually over 30 different models, ranging from the HN250, which was rated at 250 horse, to the 747, which was rated at about 760 when they rolled out the door. All in all, there were about 520 Big Buds that rolled out of the factory between about 1970 and 1991, and save for a handful of them that were lost in fires and one that got hit by a train, most of them are accounted for. 90% still working today. Number two, the 747 has always made 1,100 horse. It actually hasn't. When the Rossi brothers took delivery of it in 1977 or 78, it was rated at about 760. And they put it through its paces on a custom-built 15-shank ripper and some real big tillage equipment on their farm in Bakersfield. In 1988, they sold it to Willowbrook Farms in Florida, who bumped the horsepower up a little bit more and used it for basically the same thing, deep ripping and tillage. And they retired it for a little while until the Williams brothers bought it and brought it back to Montana in 1997. They were the ones who finally juiced it up to 1,100 horse or thereabouts. And they finally retired it when the 8-foot wide rubber tires were pretty well shot and they couldn't get new ones. The tractor ended up coming out to a museum here in Iowa for about 6 years until they got it back with some new shoes on it, courtesy of Goodyear, a bunch of big LSWs. And today they still use it with some 80-foot tillage equipment, plus the occasional parade and public appearance at big equipment in Havre, Montana. And lastly, yes, we know Welker Farms has 4 of them, and we think that's pretty cool too. No, they don't own the company. The company is actually owned by a guy named Ron Harmon, and he's more or less owned the company ever since about 1975. He's also working on bringing a new one to market, which I'm sure you've probably seen. And the development and engineering cycles on this thing are taking a lot longer than I think he or anybody else ever anticipated. When it comes out, though, it'll be pretty neat. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.